Every week, they look at the tech and business world.
What?
And turn Let's Take This Offline into an episode. Updates, reviews, and the occasional interviews. Sounds smart? It's not. We just said it with conviction. A lot of smart people already do this. But these guys have a lot of opinions and barely any filters, which maybe should concern you, or not. They seem nice. Anyway, this series comes from people who probably shouldn't be doing more streams, or at the very least, should have left some of their thoughts in a Slack thread. Unread by everyone. And now, this is Rob and Sudge asking for trouble!
All right. I still think we have to do that live, Sajid.
Definitely.
100%. I team 26 Europe or maybe 27 SF.
Oh, yes. Where are you, my friend? That's not your usual studio.
Yeah, it's not my usual studio. I'm out for a team get together with my friends, from my colleagues, and I'm in middle of a Friday evening, but I couldn't leave my virtual friends from across the globe. So I had to come say hi to everybody. That's why I'm here.
I was going to say, where was my invite if all your friends were there?
Yeah,
Sajid?
yeah. I mean,
Not all my friends. Of course, not all my friends.
All right. And who do we have in the middle here? Would you care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I've seen this guy a lot on the certifications channel. Who is this guy?
Yeah, hey everyone, Toby here. If you don't know me, I'm in the Atlassian ecosystem, mainly, working on forums, things like that, but I also work as a certifications me. I work with Rob, I work with Saj as well on some projects. So yeah, I've been in the ecosystem for at least the active part for maybe 2-3 years, but overall, I believe 7 or 8 years in the Atlassian in total. Yeah.
Awesome. Excuse me.
Hey, you woke up early. I saw you have like a lot of videos and trainings today.
Yeah, Sajid was yelling at me because I was a little bit late. Apologies, folks. I've got training sessions right before this. My adoring fans demand me. Actually,
Ooh.
that one was pretty cool because we had a guy drop in and he asked, "What is Jira?" And I was like, "Is this someone trolling me?" And no. This was someone who's learning software development, and my training session just showed up in their YouTube feed. It's like legitimately someone didn't know what Jira was and is now learning the ACA 900. So like that was pretty cool. So that's my excuse, Sajid. I'm sticking to it.
That's okay. That was my fake account, by the way.
Oh, sneaky.
That was my also Jira guy account. That's what it was.
All right, we've got some chats going on, like Rascals Assemble, Rascals Unite, Am I a Rascal? Yeah, so this is what we're calling the fans of the show, Rascals. This is both a play on words. Rob and Sajid asking for trouble, RASking, but also Rascals, like, oh, you naughty rascal. So,
or if you're a fan of our brother podcast, the Jira Life, then you could call yourself the Raskamigo if you're in that small Venn diagram.
All right. We have some confessions, or rather, we have questions about confessions for this week.
Yes.
This is Jira. What was it? 2 days ago was a Jira Admin Appreciation Day. So I was on the Jira Life yesterday, which was great, talking to other Jira admins about our experiences. But we figured we'd corner Toby here and just see what we can make him confess to. So I guess as a start, Toby, what would be the single thing you would confess around having been in Jira, Atlassian, what you've noticed or done, or something you want to get off your chest? Where would you start? And this is just between us and the entire internet. So
yeah, you're recording this and probably gonna share this afterwards. Yeah, I know you guys.
It's live streamed, Toby. It's live streamed.
No, I mean, my first confession would probably be, the simplest one, the most usual one, probably. When I started, let's say, doing Jira, administrating that, It's a standard one. I went through the Jira administration part, I played with workflows and things like that, and I accidentally deleted one status for I would say, a lot of workflows and a lot of teams. So that was fun to get back and to, let's say, move the tickets around and things like that. I got a lot of angry messages in the morning because I did it in the afternoon. So
yeah. I figured I'd start out where that just open-ended. I guess my confession, I've posted this publicly. I deleted, it was a few thousand work items accidentally because I didn't know what I was doing. And I had the delete permission. So that was an exciting phone call with my admin who spent like 30 minutes yelling at me. The only upside is he then taught me how to be an admin so I didn't screw up again.
Nice. Were you taught to be an admin? I thought you just started being an admin, fake it till you make it kind of a deal.
Oh, I did until I faked it so badly I didn't make it. and then I got some coaching on how not to fake it again that badly.
Nice.
Sajid, before we jump to our polls, do you have it? What would you like to confess to us?
Well, I think my journey with Jira started with similar kind of experience. I would confess that I didn't like Jira in the beginning. I hated Jira, and I was a Microsoft project fan, a big time Microsoft project fan. Yeah, I hated Jira, but to be fair, I started my journey with server, not even data center, server. And hey, re-indexing used to be a thing that I used to say left, right, and center to my people. So it's re-indexing. I can't work right now. So yeah, that's my confession. I hated Jira in the beginning, but I think the first time I saw cloud and started even data center for me was a big upgrade. How fast things were and how nice things were in terms of those. Then I started to become, more of a believer than a heathen that I was. But my anybody who starts using Jira today, they'll be like, "Oh, this is a nice tool." That didn't happen to me because of my server experience.
Yeah, but I'm worse. I'm sorry to jump in here. I'm worse. I started with cloud, and one week in, I just asked, "Why can't I go back to Excel? What's this?"
Yeah.
So many.
I agree, Rodney.
Mess and everything, and I was like, "Yeah, can we just go back to the things we used to work at?"
This point that's up on screen that Rodney made, and the one that you just made, Toby. I worked at a large multinational, 40,000 employees, and we had to force a team off of Zendesk. Hey, we're not using this. We've got JSM, Jira Service Management. And I was the guy who had to go talk to this team. And they're like, okay, our VP or whatever is telling us we have to move. I guess we'll do it. And a week later, can we go back to Zendesk? They're asking me this. Why would I be? I'm I can't make that decision. But I what Rodney's saying. I said, what do you not like about it? And that was, they sent me a list and about half an hour answered all those questions. Just a reminder to folks, a lot of the frustration that I have with systems is I don't know. And if we can detangle that, talk to any of the, these two guys or most of the people in the chat, that can help. It's just how it's configured. You don't know the buttons. You're unfamiliar with the process. You like your spreadsheet, Toby. Is there something in Jira that looks similar? All right. So those are some icebreakers. We've got some polls loaded in. These are also for the audience, your confessions. So not just us on the hot seat here. All right. So who's done this one? You've made a workflow change in production because you thought it would only take a moment. Is this fair enough? Is this something you've done? Is this questionable? You see someone do this and you're like, I wouldn't do that. Or do you go straight to jail, to Jira jail? Excuse me, Jira jail?
Jira jail. Nice. What do you think, Toby?
Yeah.
Can I work on this? Can I click on that or not?
No, you have to enter in chat. 1, 2, or 3.
I mean, I already confessed this, that I did it, that I removed the status, deleted it completely. So yeah, I would say, fair enough. I did it, but it's between, questionable part and Although I would like to see how I was working with a PM from Atlassian a couple of, I would say, months now, and they are like exploring the path that you can just ask Rovo directly from chat or somewhere, that it can directly change the configs, a lot of configs, not just the workflow. And I'm like, do we want that?
Sorry, in that point, like we used to be able, Rovo recently can't interpret workflows. Like I wanted to go try and do this. I was like, there's a button saying explain what this does. And it says, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm like,
it's like evolving in the other direction.
It's like those fish that evolved legs back on land and now they're going back into the water. It's like, no, keep going.
Yep.
I asked that agent there as well when they rolled it out. It was an EAP or a beta, and I tried it out, and it started explaining, okay, you have like open status, it's a to-do category, you have in progress, which is in progress category, and you have cancel, which is a done category. Thank you,
That's the best workflow, right? To do, in progress, done.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, we're hiding Toby. There we go.
Hey, on hold or completed as well. Like, on hold, I like. Because you do in progress and done. Yeah, on hold, you need an on hold, right? Like it's not always in progress, and it's not to do, and it's not done. I'm not working on it. I've started working on it, but I'm not working on it. That's on hold.
I had a training the other day. Like when you're looking at a Jira board, the boards at the top will have a color, gray, blue, green. Now on the workflow, the blue ones are in progress. However, on a board, the leftmost one is gray and the rightmost one is green, and everything in the middle is blue. And this person was saying, oh, well, we have all of these other to-do states, like it's to-do and then it's pending review. And I'm like, no, that's you started work. It is now by definition in progress. So I see what you're saying, Sajid, but my knee-jerk response is like, no, it's still in progress. It started.
Oh, don't take me wrong, and I hate on hold as well. But I just say it's a required status, because like as a customer also, I'm like, if I see somebody has put my ticket on hold, like forget about it. It's not happening for a while.
Mm-hmm. Back to this poll though, like Rodney had a great point. Anyone who didn't click one is lying.
Yeah.
Like it's that forbidden fruit of being an admin, like, oh, I know I shouldn't, but I know enough. Like I won't get corrupted, right? I could wear the one ring and not succumb to madness. Like I appreciate
I've done this enough. I've done this enough. I'm sure I will not make a mistake.
I also wonder how many times we do this, and I put myself in this bucket, and we're like, I know it's a bad idea, but I also know if I break it, I'll know how to fix it. Like that excuses the bad behavior.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else want to vote in on this? Just a 1, 2, 3 in chat to get your vote in on. Have you made a workflow change in production? It only takes a minute. What else? Anne's got a point. Global self-transition to force blocked on hold things to stay where they are. That's a good tip. I forget about self-transitions. Usually we think move to status, but you can just have it transition back to itself to trigger something. And you're making me look bad.
Wait, see, I won my users also, but in my head. You remember like how in Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy, they mentioned, hey, there was a notice posted on, Blogron Moon Notice Room that Earth will be demolished. If you didn't care to go see that, then what are you doing?
And something we should share with folks, Sajid, we're working on making this a podcast, so I need to be better about reading comments out loud.
That's true.
So watch for us on Spotify soon as Rob gets his act together and my audio intern does his job. But Anne's comment was about warning, make sure we warn our users before we tinker in prod, which is why I'm laughing. And Anne is now saying, they'll find out if it matters.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. So yeah, that's our poll. I made a change in production. That's our first confession. We've got more though. And don't worry, we'll use these as some kind of follow-up, either for like a blog post or something. Right, here we go. Toby, you want to read this one out loud, my friend? It's right under your head.
Yeah, sure. So it says, I created a custom field just for one project, and now it's used in 147 projects. So is it fair enough, questionable, or straight to Jira jail?
Everybody needs an environment field, right? Yeah, everybody should use an environment field.
Obviously.
I've literally done this.
Yeah, just 1, 2, 3 in chat to respond, folks. For me, the knee jerk is 1. Like, I gotta be honest.
I agree. Although I like the new thing that when you create now a field, it asks you where to add it on a specific project.
Yeah, Jira admin has become quite easy, right? To me, like it used to be so complicated. It's not fun anymore. The stakes are so low.
Yeah.
It's not that I will ruin the whole instance. It's not that level of,
Okay, we need like a Jira cowboy shirt or something. Siji, like Jira's not fun anymore. I can't break all of production in one click.
Yeah, some things seem too easy now. I have some interns now on an internship, and they managed to do the adding the field and everything. And I remember explaining the last year's interns. It was really complicated. You need to click here, edit there, the screen. It's not fun. It's not fun anymore.
Although, like, I think that's a really good thing. Like, there's a balance between being an admin and you need technical knowledge and not being able to screw something up really badly accidentally. And what I need to remember, like the folks I tend to talk to, Sajit, yourself, Toby, Rodney, Alex, like we're all in it very deeply. Like we're at the super deep end. We're way at the bottom of the Marianas Trench in terms of involvement. Most people are like in the kiddie pool up to their ankles, and we got to make sure that those people have the support. But it is funny looking at it going, oh, back in my day, if you didn't, configure this in 26 places, your company went out of business. Like,
yeah. And now you have Robo to ask it for help. You would need to ask people or browse through support docs, which would take a while to actually fix the thing.
Oh, and then, yeah, I see some great comments in here. We've got, Agasta is saying, straight to jail. Rodney, also the Jira guy, the real sin is you created that custom field for a single project. This
is meant to be shared. I rightly agree with you, Rodney. You create a field, everybody should use it, right? And the fun part, the most fun part, create a field, give it to everybody, and not have it on their screen.
Yeah, so what Sajid is referring to is in Jira, you can make a field, and that field will exist in system, but unless you explicitly put it on screens, they won't see it. And if you're like me, I don't know if we have a confession about this. Maybe I'll add it real quick, but making a field required and not putting it on the screen. All right, catching up here. Yeah, I plead guilty from Agastya. Yes. I throw myself at the mercy of the Jira court. Oh, no. Where did that go from Jimmy? The larger problem is we don't reuse some fields that end up with a field called current action, singular, and a separate field called current actions, plural, used in different projects. Yeah, I've done that one too. But we did get one straight to jail on this one. So I guess that's a step in the right direction. Let me duplicate this poll. Got some more comments. Yeah, who are the judges in the Jira court? Toby, Sajit, what do you think? I think the council is a different group. The council is like an advisory body that you might go to understand things. The judges would be determining judgment or passing judgment.
That's like all of us.
All of us, yeah.
Okay. Here's my proposal. We put together the judges. It's opt-in, but you're anonymous. And then you pass judgment as the judges just to see what happens. We'll workshop this, team. We'll workshop it. Oh, and Ant's got another corollary here. a required field not on the screen is up there with sharing a board or dashboard, but not sharing the underlying filter, which is also a very simple thing that I think.
100% fun.
Toby, I guess, do you have any quick tips or tricks on avoiding this particular confession or problem? Like, how do you get around this?
I'm not sure, actually. I'm still struggling myself. I have a mentality of the old way, and I have to adjust to the new way. So it's quite tricky. So quite recently, a quick story was, adding JSM forms and adding fields there. And I was struggling. Where's my field? Connect the form field with a Jira field. And I was spinning around for an hour, asking AI, things like that. I checked everything. And then I remembered, it's actually you need to add a field first to the JSM space, to the field scheme, and then you will be able to add it to the form. And I was like, I read about it like 50 times, in the last month or two, and I still can't remember it. So, yeah.
I think that for me is my biggest struggle. Like, I'm not in this as much as you are, Toby. And so I'll learn it and then I'll forget it. And then I'll do it again later. Be like, I did this last week or a month ago. Why am I still screwing this up?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I don't trust myself to make admin changes anymore. I would Google it first, ask Robo. I'm like, is this the right way? Is this still the right way? Are you sure?
Yeah. Start arguing with Google like, no, this is wrong, right?
Yeah.
For this poll, I created a board but didn't share the filter. I have done this all the time, and I still think it's a straight to jail. Just because it can be so crippling for a group. Like, again, I think of that poor end user, the person who's like, I've got to go use a stupid board. Why is nothing on it?
Yeah.
Like, if I shoot myself in the foot, that's fine. But if I'm crippling other people's day, like...
But can't you actually, if you don't share a filter, you don't see a board? I think that's the experience, right?
It's an experience.
It's an experience.
I like Justin's comment. Will any of these polls have answers other than one? Which is, yeah, I've done that. That's okay. And Rodney thinks that the Jira court would judge his confession harshly. Oh. All right, we've got another confession. And I think I didn't type this out all the way. I have told... Oh, hang on. I've got to stop and hide. There we go. I've told a customer that the issue was still indexing while I desperately searched for the solution.
I've said this to people while I had already moved to cloud also.
No.
They didn't know.
Technically, Sajid, cloud has to index, right?
Yeah,
Technically.
they didn't know. Somebody asked me something why a report was incorrect. I was like, I think it's an indexing issue. Let me check. I was on cloud.
I get it. I mean, I've used similar examples. And Toby, I'd love to hear your version of this for cloud, but I've used similar, like, oh, let me check on an update for the team when I know for a fact that the thing hasn't been talked. Anne is saying in chat, we're going to have to go request a re-indexing from Atlassian. I'll extend that. This might take a couple of days. I'll get back to you next week.
If a long weekend is approaching, that's what you say.
Oh, I like that. Indexing takes longer over weekends. Everyone knows that.
Of course. Everything is just slower, including the computers during the weekend.
They deserve time off.
Power.
So yeah, I guess, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, for me, I've never actually used this term, but I only once worked on the server and mainly worked on the cloud, right? So you don't have, as we concluded, you have indexing in the background on cloud, but it's not the same as on-prem. But I would, use things like, it's probably Atlassian incident, global outage. You reach out to them.
Yeah, see, the problem with citing a global outage is they could go to status.atlassian.com and they could check you. So you need something you can give them that they're probably not going to see.
Yeah, but the status page is not updated every time. So, so I go with that.
Okay, folks, I'm gonna drop Rob and Toby. You can now continue. I give you full permission to judge people on what the Jira judges should say. I give my vote to Toby.
I know you judge us from the dinner, so no worries.
100%. I expect nothing less, my friend.
See you guys next week.
All right. Got a great comment. Does re-indexing count as cardio? It's the only time I watch the attention bar with their full attention and pray. All right. Let's see if we can. And Sajid's. There we go. Put you on the appropriate side, Toby. Oh, no. That covers you in the vertical, though. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely used excuses for my users that aren't fake. Or I've done the same thing as an agent. Oh, I'm still waiting an update from my engineer. Let me go check on that for you.
Oh, yeah. That's classic.
Yes. You can call it the no update or the very white lie. And Rodney is giving Rodney is giving us his judgment power. So that is amazing.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you. Okay. This next one is fun. It's if there was like a super one I could put up, meaning like I really agree with this, I would definitely do it. I don't read the release notes. I just wait for my users to tell me what changed. Respond in chat with a 1 for fair enough, I've done that. A 2 for questionable, but I get it. And a 3 for straight to jail, no bail. Yeah. That's a 1 across the board for me. How about you, Toby?
I'll go with straight to jail, just because I'm on a completely other side. I watch, I monitor forums daily. What's new, what's announced, what's rolled out. Although I'm also stumbled sometimes when some features are just rolled out without anyone, explaining stuff. I believe you've seen it in the Slack or something that now folders have a landing page, which is quite cool. But I've never seen it anywhere announced or even in the release notes within the Atlassian administration that this is or will be rolled out.
That specific feature I got so excited about, Toby. And what Toby's referring to is a new feature we've seen in Confluence. A folder would just show what's in it, but now it's got a landing page and it looks a bit nicer. It's like, yes, it's live, and I go and it's not there. And I almost called you a liar. I'm like, what is this, a prank? Like, I do the same thing. People have seen me on live streams also do this. Like, I'll be training on, it doesn't matter what the topic is, and be like, oh, that's new, or oh, this broke. Like, ideally, I would be looking this up in advance, but it's like, for me, it's partially the plumber's toilet always leaks. Like, I talk about this all the time. I don't want to read about it in my spare time. Yeah, Anna's saying in chat, oh, they moved that. Anna's also saying, it's not my fault, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
I think part of this too, like, honestly, just the rate of change. Like, I'll follow the big releases, but there's so many small ones.
Yeah, I always say to my customers and clients, that the disclaimer when I talk with them, this looks like this now, potentially tomorrow it will look different.
Yeah, as of the date of recording, this is what it looks like. Jimmy is saying, multiple channels I read about with changes coming, and people still ask why they weren't told about it. I think this one, Jimmy, is like, you can lead a horse to water, you can show it the water, you can take its head and stuff it under the water, and it still might not drink the water. So, like, some percentage of folks, myself included, will miss all the signals, despite our best efforts. Oh, this is a good one from chat. From Siama. Hope I got Samia. Hope I got that right. The cloud release notes come with no issue sections, or is that just what we call the rest of the week after we read them? What do you think about this comment, Toby?
Yeah, there should be, consequences after the releases. What will happen once they pull something out, some new features. So I like reading the comments on the forums. once they announce something, or when they even like, they tend to announce some things after they are released. And then you see a lot of comments like global preview panels that exploded like massively, or that it was it last year, changing the status from one position to another. Oh, that was criminal, you know?
Yeah. This came up yesterday in the Jira Life too. It's like, and I've seen this with Atlassian, working with them on like learning stuff. It's easy to assume that everyone who works at Atlassian is using Jira and understands it the way we all do. We being the end users, we being the admins. But I'm sure they're not. And like we see from some of these changes, like maybe they aren't as in touch as we would hope. And that's where we see, to your point, Toby, you go to these forums and like, hey, look at this great change. Everyone's like, this is terrible. Why would you do this?
Exactly.
Another comment. I learned about changes from them showing up in the sandbox. And I love this one. My users are my release notes. Oh, no. All right. Yeah, but I am super guilty of that. Again, I tend to trip over them live. All right, another one. This is kind of related. Toby, I'll let you read this one out loud.
All right. I've explained something about Jira or Confluence without really knowing it.
So yeah, respond in a chat. Have you ever explained a concept or a feature or an idea about Jira or Confluence and you don't know it? A 1, yeah, I've done that. A 2, I don't do it, but I get it. A 3, ooh, you're going to jail.
I've done that. Definitely. When I started, you know, my consulting part, my consulting job, someone asked me about assets. I've never seen them, you know, I've actually heard about them. And then I had to present the whole concept of how to use assets and things like that. So I actually just read how you can use assets for, you know, hardware, laptops, mobile phones, connect them with JSM, you know, standard marketing stuff, you know. And I was like, yeah, we use it as well, of course.
And here's like 5 use cases that I use for as I'm reading off the Atlassian documentation.
Yeah, exactly.
I am super guilty of this. I had early in my career, I was a traveling consultant. I showed up at a client site. This wasn't with Jira or Atlassian. And I was told, you're the expert in this particular module of a system. And I go, okay, I know a little bit about it. I worked with a person at my prior company who was the expert. And I was flown on site to a, international site. And I trained these folks who were doing a multi-month implementation. And I was expected to like give a presentation on this module and then go around and show people how to use it and set it up. And in the back of my mind, I'm like panicking because I'm like, I read about this on the 12-hour flight and my friend used it, but I don't see myself as a super, okay, here we go. Yeah, that's obvious. You click here and then it takes you to that screen. Where's the button? Okay, there it is. Then we're going to go to this report and it's going to show you this stuff. And like, oh, that's great, Rob. Thank you. And I'm like,
yeah, you're waiting, you know.
And I'll take no further questions. I'm out.
Yeah, that's it. You know, peace out.
And so far, everyone who's responding, has done this. I wonder if I figured out how to do this on the fly. I wonder if we need some kind of training for admins on how to. It's the con game, the confidence game of, oh, I'm the admin, I know this. And to your point, Toby, like knowing where to look it up and quickly digesting it and then translating it on the fly in real time.
Yeah, it definitely gets easier. For example, for me, and I can compare myself to my previous self when I didn't know so much about, Atlassian stuff. Now, as I, follow, as I said earlier, all the announcements, what's new, and I only click on these new features a couple of times when they are released. I still can talk about them in a way, they've announced it, you can try it out and things like that. And you can see the difference in confidence when you learn something and, fake something in a way, or if you actually try it, at least even once, it's a complete difference there, at least for me.
Yeah, it's like, for me, it's just, I understand enough about the domain where I can piece together. Like, I have most of the puzzle in my head and some of the pieces I'm instructing or showing, I can fit into the puzzle. But early on, you're right. Like, I just had a box of pieces. I'm like, is this even the same puzzle? Like, these don't go together. Got some comments in here. Sami, 100% of us admit we've explained without knowing it. Does that mean we're all running on shared production knowledge without local testing? Kind of, yes. This is to your point, explaining something that you don't truly know that you're doing on the fly is the same as testing a deployment in production.
Yeah.
I like that analogy, Sami. Jimmy is saying, I don't know how to properly explain what projects and goals are or how to use them. I believe this is in reference to what Atlassian calls platform apps. So these are apps that exist across other apps. Projects is one, goals is another. Automations and assets are considered platform apps. Projects were so confusing to me, I made a mini certification course about them so I could learn what they're for. I'm doing one on goals because to Jimmy's point, like, these things exist and people ask me about them and I can explain at a high level, oh, this is a goal or a project. So Toby, I'm putting you on the hot seat. What is an Atlassian project?
So at least how I explain it and how we use it is to a platform or whatever we want to call it, interface to easily communicate like project status updates to the main stakeholders. At least that's how we do it. Like if you have a Jira space now or a project in general, that's the place where we write short updates, and also we document some learnings, risks, and things like that can be shared with either like external partners or internally. So yeah.
All right. I'm going to put a quick poll for folks. How convincing was that?
Probably not.
That was pretty good. I like that. That's about how I describe them. Is that how they're supposed to be used? I have no idea, but it sounds really good. And that's a good use case for them. All right. I've got a couple other confessions, but Toby, anything else while we're waiting for the folks to respond to your convincing description? Was it very convincing, a lot convincing, or a bit convincing? I'm going to go very convincing. That's what I think. I'll give you a 1 on that one.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. We're getting a lot of 1s. I love this.
Thank folks.
All right. We still got votes coming in. All right, I got to pause that poll. I've got another a confession, and I've got a embarrassing story about this one. Toby, I'll let you read this one. This one's for you.
No, it's not for me. I don't use anything else. But yeah, I'll go for it. I use other non-Atlassian systems to also track my work. No, I'll disconnect now,
Yeah, put a 1 if you use non-Atlassian systems, a 2 if it's questionable, but I get it, and a 3 if no, right to jail. All right, so when I became an Atlassian champion, I was what's called an Atlassian creator. Okay, fine. And I was just getting new to YouTube and LinkedIn and all this stuff. I was like, how do I track what I want to create? And at the time, Confluence databases didn't exist. So I was using, Notion, because they had a database function, and I saw that somewhere online. And so the first teams I went to, I think it was in Vegas, I did a panel discussion at the start on creating content. And one of the questions was like, how do you track your content? I was like, I use Notion. And everyone booed me.
Yeah.
It was great. Like the first time I've been to team in front of all of these community champions who I respect and I learn a lot from, and they're booing me live.
I will boo you too,
We got someone in chat saying it's pretty common. And it's actually an interesting split. A quarter of us, I've done that. Some of us, questionable, but a lot of us are like straight to jail. It's interesting for me. Like, I've chosen a career where I train and instruct on this tool. And part of that is reminding folks like, hey, like Jira does a lot of things or Confluence does many things, and that may not be the best fit. Sometimes we're forced to use it. Many jobs I work at, you just have to use it. But sometimes you get a choice, and sometimes you may fall back on a spreadsheet, Toby, or something else that's more comfortable. So I get it. I do it. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I also did that, but the more I use like Atlassian tools and Atlassian stuff, the more I find some cool, capabilities. For example, like the last thing I did was actually switch my reminders or smaller tasks to Trello. As a champion, you have a Trello Premium, and then with Trello Premium, you can actually integrate your Google Calendar with like those cards, right? So I use cards there as a small reminders, and then which is also relatively new, you can, if that, let's say a reminder or a task is actually a bigger chunk of work, I then just convert it to a Jira item, right? So you have an integration between Trello and Jira, which is quite cool. And apart from that, we've just went like last weekend to a music festival with my friends. So I created the whole Trello board, shared it with them, assigned the tasks to them, Yeah, so it was really cool.
I love this from Sammy. 63% voted straight to jail. Is that a confession or Jira building its case file? I'll let the audience decide on that one. All right, folks, I've got one more poll for us. I've made someone an admin. I was typing too fast. I've made someone an admin because it's faster than figuring out the specific permissions they need. 1, I've done that. 2, I get it. 3, ooh, you're going to jail.
I kind of get it, because I wouldn't say I did it, but some limitations of Jira had me do it.
This isn't.
Not mine.
Sorry?
It's actually Jira's fault, not mine.
There we go. Yeah, it's the system's fault. Yeah, I've definitely done this, and it was with I'd done this in Confluence before they did the role-based access controls. To allow someone to change templates, they had to be a space admin. And I was like, I don't want to have to manage this, so I had to make them a space admin to give them the access. Yeah. It's like the granularity I needed did not exist. I'll also be honest, I've done it, just been like, fine, you'll be a space admin. Like, don't mess anything up. And I give up nothing, all in caps, without a good reason. Yeah. Like, ideally, we're clawing this back. And yeah, straight to jail, no bail, most of us. That is probably the correct answer.
Yeah, I agree. Like, have at least 3 level of approvals to get to the point where you're actually giving an administrator to someone.
1000%. All right, folks. This has been a lot of fun. It's given me a lot of ideas for other stuff we can do, but we're about at time. So, Toby, what parting thoughts would you share with the group around confessions as an admin?
Confessions. I do have one, which I just reminded myself. It was a fairly recent one. I used automation to do a bulk change on like 5,000+ items, and I forgot to turn off notifications and emails. And I did it over the weekend. And let's just say it was a fun week. People showed up on Monday with like email having 5,000+ notifications. So automation changed this or that. Lovely.
Oh, that's good. All right, folks. Thank you all for joining us, Toby. Really appreciate you coming in, my friend.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Yeah. All right, folks. Yeah, so much preparation. We spent weeks getting ready for this, so appreciate all that time and effort. But thanks for joining us, folks. Be on the lookout for that podcast for posting over on Spotify. We'll see you next Friday, and I will dig up a form real quick. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the show, I will put a link for us in the chat. You can always join the wait list. We got a lot of folks, but consider becoming a guest.
So much fun, as you can see.
Unprompted. You heard it here, folks. All right. Have a great weekend. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see y'all soon.
Every week, they look at the tech and business world and turn let's take this offline into an episode. Updates, reviews, and the occasional interviews. Sounds smart? It's not. We just said it with conviction. A lot of smart people already do this. But these guys have a lot of opinions and barely any filters, which maybe should concern you or not. They seem nice. Anyway, this series comes from people who probably shouldn't be doing more streams, or at the very least, should have left some of their thoughts in a Slack thread. Unread by everyone. And now, this is Rob and Sudge, asking for trouble.